translated to us as a law book of ISKCON. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur told him, this is the most authentic book for all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas to to reach that they can reach the highest perfection of their human form of life. So Prabhupada translated to us it as a law book of ISKCON. Law book, when we say law books are very bulky. Law books are very quoted. You might have heard people quoting lawyers quote section after sections in the court. So thanks to Prabhupada that he read the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu in total, which has around 2,200 some verses around that. But he nicely gave to us a book, in a very consolidated format. And I guarantee you, if you read that book with Prabhupada's NOD, which is a summary study of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, is a very profound book. Actually everything which Rupa Goswami writes in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Prabhupada has just translated to us as it is. It is verse by verse Prabhupada has been translating, and it's my fortune that I am able to present to you, because you know very well the person who is presenting has to read the most and benefits the most. So I'm taking this opportunity, in that way, that I am the most beneficiary, and I hope I benefit you all something also. So thank you for being, and I'll be taking the first 9 chapters of NOD Prabhu from Preface, Introduction, and chapter 1 to chapter 9. And I'll be also referring I'll be referring basically 3 things Prabhu, in this what I'll be teaching to you all. Basically, the 3 commentaries which I'll be referring for Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, this NOD book. That is Jeev Goswami's commentary, Durgama Sangamani Tika, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's, Bhakta Sar Pradarshani Tika. If you have heard these 2 meaning of these 2 words itself, Durgama Sangamani Tika, resolving the difficulty, resolving the conflict. That is the book name, commentary of Jiva Goswami. And Bhakti Sara Pradarshani Tika, revealing the essence of bhakti, by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And for sure, and much more, our Prabhupada's NOD, Nectar of Devotion. So that's how the format would be. And so Prabhupada starts with the preface. I really say, if I have to do a complete justice, it requires much time, but no, none of us have that much time, and neither you, neither me. But I will request you, after completing NOD or after completing your Bhakti Shastri, do read the NOD with a very much on a deeper level. Don't on first eastern wave itself, and then you can move towards the southern wave. I'll talk about these waves later on: eastern wave, southern wave, northern wave, western wave. Because as the waves increases, the subject matter, the level of the subject matter also increases in this book, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So we'll begin with the preface, and I'll try to do half of the introduction today, preface plus half of introduction, and let's see how it goes. And I hope that I'll be able to complete what I'm saying to you all. So this book, as I said to you in the beginning, it's and right now I said to you, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is called a Sindhu. Sindhu is ocean. If anyone, just a side thing, anyone of you have any question in between, you can raise your hand and ask. At the end, surely we'll have also questions. If you can hold the questions till end, that is also very good. If you can't hold, you can ask in between. So this book has been said, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It's Rasa. Rasa Prabhupada says to be as mellow. And Prabhupada will talk about in his preface surely about mundane ras and spiritual bhakti ras. We'll always see that. But it says Sindhu. Sindhu means ocean. Ocean. Why the word ocean has been used? Because ocean has no fathom. You know, it is fathomless ocean. Oceans are fathomless. You can't figure it out. At the depth of it, and its width. Nobody, it's very difficult to understand the depth of the ocean. Even if somebody can calculate the main width of the ocean by somehow, depth is very, very. And what to say about this Sindhu of Bhakti Rasa? This Sindhu of Bhakti Rasa, is Koti Samudra Gambhir. It's been said that if you put one ocean after another in a vertical order, Koti means how much? What do you understand Koti means? Anyone? Koti?
Crores, Prabhu.
Crores. Crores ocean. But in a vertical way, one after another. Isn't Koti Samudra Gambhir. That much is the depth of Bhakti Rasa. So surely, you require to be if you really want to taste this Bhakti Rasa, we have to become bigger whales, Timingla fishes. Because until it's becoming big like that, big in the sense, not in the size, big not in the sense of, big in the sense of devotee, in the sense of being more humble, more tolerant, all those aspects, then we can dive deep into this Bhakti Rasa. And once who dives deep into Bhakti Rasa, mundane Ras, where is the question? So he divides the four this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu into four divisions, Prabhu. Eastern wave, Eastern division, Northern, Southern, Western. And in this art Bhakti, in this NOD class, you will be reading only will cover the eastern side of the ocean. This eastern side of ocean, this includes the preface, introduction plus chapter 1 to chapter 19. That only we are going to read. Ahead, when you will qualify yourself, you are surely you should read. So in this eastern division, there are four waves. On ocean there will be waves. So in this eastern division also there are four waves. And in between I'll be asking questions to you all. So please be be with me. And I hope you are not seeing anything else on your screen apart from what we are discussing, what discussion we are having here. So this first, so in this first Eastern wave is Eastern division has four waves. Wave 1 is Samanya Bhakti. Wave 2 is Sadhana Bhakti. Wave 3 is Bhav Bhakti. Wave 4 is Prema Bhakti. So I repeat, wave 1, Sadhana Bhakti. I'm adding that Prabhupada's NOD book, Preface, beginning from Preface, Introduction, Chapter 1, till Chapter 1 is wave 1, Samanya Bhakti. Then wave 2, which is Sadhana Bhakti, includes Chapter 2 of NOD till Chapter 16. And wave 3, which is Bhava Bhakti, is about Chapter 17 and Chapter 18 of Prabhupada's NOD. And wave 4, which is Prema Bhakti, is NOD's Chapter 19. That is about us. And if you want to correlate with Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu as written by Rupa Goswami, then you can say 3 chapters, 3 or 4 chapters of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu we will be covering in this Eastern division, or entire NOD of Bhakti Shastri. This is just covers the 4 chapters of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. If you want to anyhow, no need of going more into that. So I'll just give you in one or two line what actually these division means actually, how these divisions have been divided and all. So the as I said to you, the Eastern division, which is Eastern division, is also called as a Purva Vibhag. No, Eastern is Purva in Hindi. Southern division is called Dakshina Vibhag. Western division is Paschim Vibhag, and Northern division is Uttara Vibhag. So no, so these the first wave in the Eastern division, which is Samanya Bhakti, means general characteristics of Bhakti is being explained. In the second wave of the Eastern division, Purva Vibhag, Sadhana Bhakti, Bhakti in the stage of cultivation has been explained. The third wave, the Bhava Bhakti, Bhakti in the budding stage of ecstatic love, means at prema, means at a budding stage of prema, how the Bhakti is. And the fourth wave, which is called as Prema Bhakti, Bhakti in a mature stage of ecstatic love, is being explained. So, and then, okay, because we have mentioned you four divisions are there. So in Dakshin Vibhag, the southern division, Samanya Bhagavad Bhakti Rasa is being explained, means over there, now Bhakti Ras means this is beyond, this is at a prema level. Na? Other all three divisions, apart from the Eastern division, is talks about the prema level. You know, general characteristics of Bhagavad Bhakti Rasa means prema. Paschim Vibhag is primary divisions of prema, Bhakti Ras, and northern division, Uttar Vibhag, is secondary divisions of Bhakti Ras. That is called Gauna Bhakti Ras Nirupakaha. So anyhow, I no more technical things. I'll not get into it. We'll begin with Prabhupada's NOD preface. Else, if if we get into it, 8:15 will happen, and then you will tell Tata to me, and I'll be in problem of covering up the syllabus. So I'm sharing my screen with you all, and you can see. So this is what we are. Very careful. We'll begin with the preface, and then I have underlined, I have highlighted, and we'll be reading those only highlighted sections, from preface. So, and side by things, you might see something, which is I have, that is my notes to it, which is written in side or up, wherever you're seeing in the first, I have written to you. I have explained to you also what is written in blue. It is on mine. These are my notes, so don't get into that so much. That is not so helpful for you. So Prabhupada writes, now Prabhupada's first, when he is beginning with this book, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he is actually, referring to, now he's beginning and he's now first saying about the author, who is His Divine Grace, Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada. So Prabhupada says about that, and about Rupa Goswami, he says that he is the foremost of the six Goswamis, and they were the direct disciples of Lord Chaitanya. And he first met Rupa Goswami at in Ramakeli, where they were the ministers in the Mohammedan government, and their name was Dabir Khas. Rupa Goswami's name was Dabir Khas, and Sakar Malik was Sanatan Goswami's name. And then Prabhupada talks about how they were from different backgrounds, Saraswat background, but they were forcefully they were recruited into this particular act of being a minister in the Nawab Hussain Shah's kingdom. And because they became, you all surely have heard, they became the ministers just for protecting Hindus and the Sanatan Dharma people. But they were orchestratized from the Hindu, society, because they were serving malachas. So that kind of very strict and rigid people were there that time. In fact, one of the pastimes comes in CC that one of the Mahaprabhu's associate actually was just turned into a Muslim by one of the Islamic people. Just sprinkling water from his pitcher. He made him translate. He converted him to into a Muslim. That was the conception of that time. And then he went and asked other people, Panditas, Brahmanas, how I can come back to Hindu Dharma, Sanatan Dharma, if you want to say. He said, they drink lot of ghee, hot ghee. What will happen? You will die. And then after that, you will take birth. That may be in a Brahmana family. Then you will be Brahmana. That kind of rigidity was there that time. But knowing this, they accepted to be you know, the ministers of Nawab Hussain Shah. So proper rights over here. One of you read what I have been highlighted, what you were able to see, Lord Chaitanya. Please read.
Lord Chaitanya's principle is universal. Anyone who knows the science of Krishna and is engaged in the service of the Lord is accepted as being in a higher position than a person born in the family of a Brahmana.
This is we should be very clear with it. These are material conceptions which Lord Chaitanya doesn't ever sanctions it. These principles are universal. Anybody who is interested in science of Krishna consciousness is ready to accept the process and follow. He is better than a Brahmana, no matter born in a Brahmana, no matter whichever family he may be born. Yesterday we had Haridas Thakur's uh, disappearance day, and he was born as such in a Islamic Mohammedan family, but was accepted by the Lord. And proper rights, the principle of Lord Chaitanya movement in educating and elevating everyone to the exalted post of a Goswami is taught in nectar of devotion. That Jai, it's a good thing. That nectar of devotion, if we follow it in our life, we read it from whatever our position may be right now, we can be we can be transported to the exalted post of a Goswami, not just as a Goswami by title. Some people have name just title Goswami, but they would break all principles. Not like that, but actually a Goswami. No, Nitra Har Vihar Ka Vichito. That kind of a Twakta Turnam Asesha Mandalapati. That kind of a Goswami. Nana Shastra Vichara Naika Nipuno. That kind of a Goswami will be. So Prabhupada, no. And then this is a story about how Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami escaped away from there, and mainly about Sanatan Goswami. And then Rupa Goswami meets Lord Chaitanya at Prayag, Allahabad, on the Sashwamedh Ghat, and he heard from him 10 days. He heard from him just 10 days, and the result of that 10 day of hearing was so many literatures Rupa Goswami wrote to us. And one of the prime literatures that he wrote to us is this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which we are talking about here. And as been said, Nana Shastra Vichara Naik Nipuno Sadharma Sanstapako. So Srinivas Acharya has written this particular Sadhu Goswami Ashtakam. In that it is mentioned that they just not knew Sanskrit language, but they knew also Persian and Arabic, and we all, you know, you all should be knowing that again and again Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami writes at the end of his at the end of his chapters in CC, Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hoi Vyakuti, that kind of thing he writes. One of the Vaishnava songs also is there, because Rupa and Raghunath Das Goswami are Nitya Siddhas Goswami, and so they always, so we all are the followers of Rupa Nugas. We are called as Rupa Nugas. We are supposed to follow the authority. We are supposed to follow Rupa Goswami. And proper rights, the present Krishna consciousness movement is based on the authority of Rupa Goswami. And on his guidance, it is the guidance, it is only for our guidance that Srila Rupa Goswami prepared this book, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which Prabhupada presented to us as a nectar of devotion. So from here, something now actually begins that to be discussed in a proper way. So bhakti means proper rights. Read the yellow one, which I have highlighted. One of you. Different devotees read it will be better. Yeah,
Yes.
Shantanu, you read right.
Oh, okay. I'll read and I'll allot after this.
Yes, yes.
Bhakti means devotional service. Every service has some attractive feature which drives the servitor progressively on and on. Every one of us within this world is perpetually engaged in some sort of service, and the impetus for such service is the pleasure we derive from it. Driven by affection for his wife and children, a family man works day and night. A philanthropist works in the same way for love of the greater family, and a nationalist for the cause of his country and countrymen. That force which drives the philanthropist, the householder, and the nationalist is called rasa, or a kind of mellow relationship whose taste is very sweet.
So Prabhupada said, bhakti is about devotional service, and because it's a service, with devotion, with some kind of, rasa, there's a mellow. But Prabhupada over here is beginning that in this world, everybody is actually, engaged in some sort of service, and in all that sort of service that people are engaged in, there's some rasa they are getting it, and because of that they are. Else, why a person, will work so much, so much actually, uh, so 8-10 hours every day and 12 hours every day, just to, maintain a mundane family. The people in this world, that's what they are doing it. So now over here, it has been very clear that there is a rasa which they get, but that is called as mundane rasa. But that rasa drives him. No, just not people, even philanthropists, nationalists, all these people, they are driven by that rasa, and the rasa that they get, the rasa of being controller, the rasa of being proprietor, the rasa of being enjoyer, drives them, you know, drives them throughout the life to, do that kind of sort of service. That is called as mundane rasa. So then Prabhupada now over here starts speaking about mundane rasa and bhakti rasa. So yeah, another devotee can read the green portion. Prabhu.
Abhishek Prabhu.
Yes, Guruji. Bhakti Rasa is a mellow different from the ordinary rasa enjoyed by mundane workers. Mundane workers labor very hard day and night in order to relish a certain kind of rasa which is understood as sense gratification. The relish or taste of the mundane rasa does not long endure, and therefore mundane workers are always apt to change their position of enjoyment.
Yeah. So Prabhupada over here now when he's speaking about mundane rasa, before he explains to us bhakti rasa, because bhakti rasa is the entire this book. He's explaining us mundane rasa. He basically is saying two things. Now, mundane rasa is begotten from sense gratification. And mundane rasa, the entire trigger, the trigger is sense gratification. And second, Prabhupada writes about that. It does not long endures. That people don't know. No matter what you work hard day and night, but that rust will not continue for very long. It is not long enduring and is apt to change. And the people engaged in that mundane rust, they'll be always apt to change. Means their position of enjoyment will keep on changing, and and that is a change nobody likes in this world. But a change is a common denominator in this material world. Uh, so the Prabhupada gives the example over here of a businessman, that a businessman who is just a mundane businessman, what he does is he works day, and he works throughout the weekdays, and on a weekend he goes for a chutti. That's why, because it's very tough to work all 7 days. If somebody has to work all 7 days, I personally believe he he won't sustain much, for many, but he can't sustain long that particular work. There's no rust. Actually, there's no rust. It's again punah charvita charvana nam. Or we say na mate na krishne parato satova. mitopi padyate griha vratana adantako bhirvasatam tamishram punah punah charvita charvanana. So the mundane rest person is also working, the bhakti rest fellow person is also working, is also doing devotional service. He is also working hard, bhakti rest person also, and mundane rest person also is working hard. The difference is mati na Krishna parato satova. Their mati is not in Krishna. So mati is not in Krishna. Then then it is mundane. Uh, just for a side, just I'm saying it may be a bit strong, but I like to say that for being very clear that anybody we are devotees, we have become devotees, Prabhu. We all are working hard, different according to our ashramas. We have to work hard, and in their different. But one has to be remember the mati should be in Krishna. If mati is not in Krishna, mati na Krishna, parato satova, mitopi badyate griha vratana. So it has to happen then. Punah punah charvita charvanana. The adant gobir vishatam mishram. That is very clear that we'll become the slaves of our senses, and then slave of our senses. Person who is enjoying sense gratification also get a rasa. It is mundane rasa. Uh, that will change. That is not going to give us much. So mundane worker have to work day and night, but for what he gains, nothing. So now proper. Now I'll show you also something about uh, yeah, uh, Bhakti Ras, which Prabhupada writes in the very famous verse of Bhagavatam, the first canto, first chapter, the third verse. Dharma projita kaita vatra paramo dharmat saranam satam vedyam va. Uh, just a minute. No, dharma projita kaita vatra paramo dharmat saranam satam vedyam vastu vatra vasudam se vatra vasudam vedyam va ved. What has how it goes? Dharma projita.
Patrayon
Tapatrayon. Yes. So in that verse, Prabhupada actually is a very famous verse which we refer to always. I'll show. I want to make you read a portion of the after, and so in the this is the second verse which Prabhupada writes about dharma projita, and then in the third verse which he explains, that is that there he explains about very exclusively the whole purport. You can read the whole purport at your leisure. I'll show you the part of it. The third verse of of that Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam sukhamukhad amritravya samyutam pivata bhagavatam rasamalayam muraho rasika bhuvi bhavukah. So here the word rasika is about bhakti rasa. Bhakti rasika, rasa. Who is जो पी रहा है भक्ति रस को उसको रसिका बोलते हैं. So Prabhupada explains very beautifully over here. This entire purport is about rasa, bhakti ras, Prabhu. There's nothing. You please read this at your leisure. I'll just show you a part of few lines of this purport. Where Prabhupada writes about the beginners in this shloka. Yeah. Yeah, please read this. What you're seeing, one of you, in this shloka.
Aditya Gorang Prabhu.
In this shloka, it is definitely stated that spiritual rasa, which is relished even in the liberated stage, can be experienced in the literature of the Srimad Bhagavatam due to its being the ripened fruit of all Vedic knowledge. By submissively hearing this transcendental literature, one can attain the full pleasure of his heart's desire. But one must be very careful to hear the message from the right source.
Yeah,
Srimad Bhagavatam.
Wait, just that much only. You read that this entire purport for sure, don't leave it, and there's a time. Prabhupada also over here because we may be asking how I will get bhakti ras. Do I have to This is a very hopeful statement which Prabhupada is writing to us. No, at this stage where we are, we can also relish bhakti ras, right? Na? Not that we have to surely one has to get purified and then actually you can have a bhakti ras all the time drinking and relishing, and when you become purified, that is truth. No, then bhakti ras will be like a steady thing for us, a steady bhakti. So, but before to that also we can, because bhakti ras is important to give up mundane ras. You know, how somebody can give up mundane rasa? See, all of us also, gave us tea and coffee because in our camp, Spurti camp, Sankalp camp, they gave us herbal tea and herbal coffee. We are ready. Chalo bhaiya. Chhod diya maine. I know many of you may be eating, non-veg. And when you came, why they gave paneer sabji, prasadam. बोल दे छोड़ सकता हूँ चलो higher taste है छोड़ दिया. So yes, we have given up many things. Movies, movie songs. So much we were, you might, I was very bad into that, but surely some of you maybe were masters in that. But yeah, but we got songs at our time. We used to hear, Yeshopan, this song itself, yeah, even that we were not able to much understand. But, Brahma Samhita. Brahma Samhita was so, no, at that, surely at your generation has changed. But we used to hear Sarup Damodar Prose, our Sarup Damodar Prose. But, Brahma Samhita, and it would be like, Are, it's a heaven? No, heavenly pleasure? What is this? So then we got something, and that's why we gave it up. Uh, right now, also, somebody says to you, you might be smelling sometime onion garlic, you may be feeling, what is this? No. So how we have got improper rights? That bhakti, we have entered into the gate of bhakti, but we have to far go. To go far in bhakti, to go deep in bhakti. And I was just hearing one plan. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, in his lecture on Radha Ashtami, was saying, this, sometimes bhakti is called as very deep. Sometimes bhakti is called as very high. How something which can be deep, which is low, and high, which is up, can be, one thing can be very high and one can be very deep. How is it so? That can only happen in bhakti. So we have to go very high and we have to go very deep. For that, we have to have bhakti rasa to go on. And this is a very hopeful statement for us. Prabhupada is writing, it can be relished. Bhakti ras can be relished, not just at a liberated stage, but at this stage also by reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Because this is Nigam Kalpataro Kalitam Phalam. इस गला हुआ फल है, वो पका हुआ फल है, किसको नहीं टेस्ट आएगा. And also there is, I'll show you some hope giving statements also. Also Bhakti Ras, which has been explained in 1119. This is also the shloka Vayam tu na vitrapya uttama shloka vikrame yakshinvatam rasa jnanam swadu pade pade. Just read the translation.
We never tire of hearing the transcendental pastimes of the personality of Godhead, who is glorified by hymns and prayers. Those who have developed a taste for transcendental relationships with him relish sharing his pastimes at every moment.
Yeah. So we have to just do that, relish hearing his pastime. And okay, we may not relish initially, but Bhagavatam, you just read Bhagavatam, you hear Bhagavatam. No, from a Rasika, means our, no, Rasika means for us, the Rasikas are the great stalwarts in Prabhupada's movement. So there's so many Vaishnavas who are very deep, Rasikas of, they're very deep into this Bhakti Ras. You hear from them, surely you will develop it, a taste for it. That is Bhakti Ras. That those who develop it, they don't look for. And Prabhupada ahead is, okay, I'll show you one more. Then this is 10.18 Bhagavad Gita, because we have just covered Bhagavad Gita. I'll show it. Yeah, read the translation too.
O Janardhan, again, please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I am never satiated in hearing about you, for the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words.
Yes. So if you want to become Bhakti Rasa, Rasa Rasika, Bhakti Ras Peene Wala, Rasik Bhakt, hear more. And then when we say hear, surely hearing has 5 components that you would be knowing. Shravanam, then you do, Nididhyasanam, Smaranam, all those. The last is Smaranam, and last is, is Kirtanam. So there are 4 stages, four, 4 or 5 stages actually. So that, so the process begins with hearing. Uh, he's saying, Arjuna is saying, I'm never satiated in hearing about you. And what? Your opulence. He's not saying your 10th canto only, sir. No, no, no. Your opulence, right? Now, because opulence, when you hear the opulence of the Lord, I can guarantee you, our hardcore proprietor controllership, enjoyership mentality just dismantles away. So that is why, and that is where, for right now, our medicine may not be that much of sweetness. Here, there, sweetness that we get, like Radhashmi lecture you heard, that's full of sweet. That's fine. That is also good, but that should be here and there. That can't be our main right now. Later on, it has to become the main. Right now, we have to learn from Arjuna, Bhagavad Gita, mystic power of your opulence. I hear and never feel satiated. I'll be, and he's also Rasika. And Arjuna is also Prasika Bhakti, we say. So now we have to march ahead, Prabhu. My humble request is please, read at your, uh, all of you participate in reading. Then you will have an interest, Prabhu. Not, it will be, I just speak. So that Prabhupada also talks about there's a bhog and tyag. So mundane ras means what? Bhog and tyag. So sometimes people like to do bhog, some people do tyag. That's what happens, goes in the mundane rest. Bhog, ये भोग तो mentality सब जो भी conditions हो रहे, everybody's a bhog mentality. So mundane rest के पीछे जो भी जा रहा है, he tries to do bhog, and when he gets frustrated, त्याग. That's what goes on. And proper fourth characteristics of mundane rest, he says, is chapala sukha, flickering happiness. Right now, it's flickering. Prabhupada gives a story, for jackal. You might have heard a jackal who went to the, yeah, wine orchard, means grapes orchard. So he wanted to pluck the, grapes which were up hanging, but he was not able to. He was trying, but was not able to do that. Finally, he said, ah, grapes are sour, because he could not get the, grapes. He could not pluck the grapes from the, from the that wine. So he was initially, he was attached. He wanted, but he could not get, frustrated. So he was detached. That goes on in mundane rest. And we see, no, people get attached to something. People get attached to one phone. New phone comes, they get detached from you and then attached to that. Oh, nothing is there. But you will never see happening that in Bhakti Ras. No. You will never hear from a Bhakti Rasa Rasika. This mantra I chanted for 10 years, drop it. New one. No, it doesn't happen. It's a constant. So, and Prabhupada writes that, that he gives the example of, over there, he gives the example for, Rupa and Sanatan Goswami only, that they were ministers, they were prime ministers, home ministers. How they could give it up, to become what? To become a mendicant? Not a mendicant who is living in an ashram just, with a floor, with a roof on the head. A mendicant of a stature that living beneath tree and changing tree every night. Such a mendicant. And Prabhupada gives the example of C.R. Das. You have heard, I won't say that C.R. Das was one of the man. He also tried renunciation, but his renunciation was not mundane, was not bhakti renunciation. So he died. No, he died. He could not maintain his life. He could not take up that simple life. So so the bhakti ras, no, can 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 dry up all the desires of mundane rasa in this world. So bhakti ras, that's why Prabhupada says as bhakti ras, however, the mellow relished in the transcendental loving service of the Lord does not finishes with the end of life. It continues perpetually, and therefore is called Amrita. Bhakti Rasamrita. Now the word has been explained. The book Bhakti Rasamrita. So Sindhu will also be explained. So Amrit is why? Because it continues perpetually even after life. Right now. Bharat Maharaj died. No, with the and got a dear body. But who was elevated more? The Bharat Maharaj or the dear Bharat Maharaj? Who was elevated more? Who was more elevated bhakti, devotee? You know? Anyone?
Dear
The
Bhakti.
dear Bharat. The dear Bharat was much more. Yeah, Amantu. The dear Bharat was much more. Why? Dear Bharat remembered his past, very well. He remembered the rust that he has got when he was practicing very nicely. This he was much cautious. It's been said he was much more elevated than Bharat Maharaj. You know, the dear Bharat was much more elevated than the Bharat Maharaj. Because why? Are bhakti ras is eternal. You know, it doesn't fades away with time. What fades away is mundane ras. So if somebody says, "Oh, bhakti mein naya naya rasta ab nahi hai," oh sir, you didn't. You you can we can say you didn't taste it bhakti ras. You're tasting something else, and that's why it's been said, "Neha vikrama na sosti pratyavayu na vidyate swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat." Prabhupada ahead writes that थोड़ा भी भक्ति रस जिसने चखा है सही में ना there is no ठीक है चला भी गया चला गया there is no loss because a little advancement, a little the taste that he had, little taste also he has tasted will protect him from the greatest type of danger. Bhagavad Gita 2.40 Krishna says very clearly in that. So this is where Prabhupada talks about and different things, and then he says we get different life and all those karmana deva netrena. So from here actually, Prabhupada more elaborately explains about this bhakti ras. I'm really seeing the time how to manage with it. So here, Prabhupada, just read Prabhupada, Bhakti Ras itself is sufficient. One of you.
Akshay Prabhu.
Bhakti ras itself is sufficient to produce a feeling of liberation because it attracts the attention of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Generally, neophyte devotees are anxious to see Krishna or God, but God cannot be seen or known by our present material blunt senses. The process of devotional service, as it is recommended in the Nectar of Devotion, will gradually elevate one from the material condition of life to the spiritual status wherein the devotees becomes purified of all designations. The senses can then become uncontaminated, being constantly in touch with Bhakti Rasa. When the purified senses are employed in the service of the Lord, one becomes situated in Bhakti Ras life, and any action performed for the satisfaction of Krishna in this transcendental Bhakti Ras stage of life can be relished perpetually.
So Prabhupada is explaining two things. In this Bhakti Ras, one who is having this Bhakti Ras is tasting this Bhakti Ras, liberation is insignificant. And now I'll not show you references much, time is not there. But you can read Antilila, CC, the third chapter, The Glories of Haridas Thakur, where he is explaining, he has a conversation at the house of Hiran Majumdar and Govardhan Majumdar with Gopal Chakravarti, who could not believe what is just by Nama Bhasa stage, one can get liberation. No, not possible. He could not. But that is Bhakti Ras. Bhakti Ras, when I am saying, is a ras in chanting that we have to get. So Bhakti Ras makes these things insignificant. Then Prabhupada writes how one can situate in Bhakti Rasa life. Right now we can get some pockets of Bhakti Ras here and there. But situate in Bhakti Rasa life, if you want to be steadily, drinking the bhakti ras, relishing the bhakti ras, what we have to do. Prabhupada is writing that senses, and the senses, this one I'm re-highlighting it. The senses, being has to be made, pure. Uh, the senses has to be made pure, and how? By employing in the service of the Lord. And with that, with that senses, with the purified senses, when we perform activity, bhakti for the satisfaction of the Lord, that results into we situated into bhakti rasa stage. Uh, that is a stage. Then that stage when one become, when we have crossed anartha nivritti technically, and situated oneself at least at a level of nishtha. That is a time when we start relishing bhakti ras. But right now, very hope giving statement Prabhupada has written. Even not have crossed anartha nivritti, no problem. You want to have bhakti ras? Read here Srimad Bhagavatam. No. And not just the 10th canto. The opulence, the first 9 cantos also is very, very powerful. So, no. So in the beginning, one is trained according to principles of regulation under the guidance of Acharya or spiritual master, and gradually one is elevated. So this is spontaneous, automatic, eagerness to serve Krishna comes. So Prabhupada, goes on writing about, about that now he talks about the loving propensity. Everybody has a loving propensity. Even the animals, the tiger also has loving propensity. Although he's the most ferocious animal, but he also likes to love, and to be loved. So all of us have that nature of love, to love and to be loved. Why not love Krishna? Because he is the Paramam Purusha, right now. So that is missing point. The missing point in everyone's life is Krishna. So then now Prabhupada, he's talking about the NOD in a very, he's encouraging us to read, NOD by writing these lines. I have to go a bit fast, Prabhu. So you can, so then Prabhupada, you can read the preface by your own once by your own also. So I am here now, Prabhupada. Just read this. I am here, appealing here with. Read this, Prabhu.
Aman Prabhu.
Yes, sir. I am appealing herewith to such confused men to learn the art of devotional service as directed in the nectar of devotion. And I am sure that the fire of material existence burning within their hearts will be immediately extinguished. The root cause of our dissatisfaction is that our dormant loving propensity has not been fulfilled despite our great advancement in the materialistic way of life. The nectar of devotion will give us practical hints how we can live in this material world perfectly, engaged in devotional service, and thus fulfill all our desires in this life and the next. The nectar of devotion is not presented to condemn any way of materialistic life, but the attempt is to give information to religionists, philosophers, and people in general how to love Krishna.
Yeah, that's what is the thing. So Prabhupada is saying us that materialistic way of life is not going to help us anyway. One has to, one has to, one has to relish this bhakti. Add Krishna in your life. Learn to love Krishna. Loving propensity is anywhere there. Why not do that? Then you'll be fine. So missing Krishna means, this is very important. Very amazing line. Read this to one of you.
Aman Prabhu, continue.
Missing Krishna means missing oneself also. Real self realization and realization of Krishna go together simultaneously. For example, seeing oneself in the morning means seeing the sunrise also. Without seeing the sunshine, no one can see himself. Similarly, unless one has realized Krishna, there is no question of self realization.
Yeah, so if this means missing Krishna means we are missing oneself also. That's a very beautiful line. So don't, let us not miss Krishna. So we'll not miss ourselves also. Else we'll always identify with the body which we are not. You know? So one has to catch Krishna's lotus feet. Means catching Krishna's lotus feet means Prabhu catching lotus feet of Guru and Vaishnavas. That's the meaning. And then will not miss oneself. Else we'll be fooled. We'll be fooled. Life after life we have been fooled. Maybe we'll be fooled. You know, now no more fool we want to be. So let us catch Krishna. And Prabhupada writes, he thanks his beloved disciple, Jayanand Brahmachari, Sriman Jayanand Brahmachari, for giving a contribution in bringing out this book, Nectar of Devotion. So this ends over here, and now I just could cover it this much. Can we go 5 minutes more minimum so that I can start touching this then introduction at least?
We have time till 8:15, Proji. So
Okay. Okay. Any questions till now, Prabhu? Let's have a fair game. You have any questions? Anybody any question you can ask, else I'll take the opportunity and go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, yes, Prabhu.
Oh, I have one question regarding nectar of devotion. I heard many times that devotees say that nectar of devotion is like a law book, or it is like the code we have some law, na? So like this we call it is a law book of the ISKCON. So that I did not understand many times. Then what is the
Oh,
exact meaning
I
of
told in
law
the
book?
beginning. Maybe you joined late. Prabhupada
Achha,
considered it to be law book because no, his no, actually that is his the Guru Maharaj Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur told him at the time of initiation, that you read Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and so he's actually I forgot to. I could not complete. I'll complete that. Good, your question has hinted me something, Rob. Actually, we are beginning Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu NOD, and today is proper sannyas also. And at least we should thank, we should hear some glories of Rupa Goswami also. So, it's been said that in 1933, you're mentioning your question, 1933, Prabhupada, when he took initiation, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur instructed him to read this book, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and he said, the law book of devotional service. He made it. Why it is law book? Because law book defines, law book defines the code and conducts. What are the right code and conducts? What is not? And if somebody breaks, then this is a penalty. This is a penalty. This is a penalty. So this law book, Nectar of Devotion, is called the law book because here is being very well explained how to do devotional service, pure devotional service. And also, if somebody follows the law, what is awarded to him? Somebody breaks the law. Actually, somehow we only know law means when somebody criminal, somebody breaks the law and he gets punishment. We know that much law, but law is also in a benefit of the citizen also. That if somebody does this, he get Padma Bhushan, Padma, no, all those Padma Shri. The same way, this NOD book defines how to do bhakti, what we will get from that bhakti, and also the divisions which we will be not be reading because of the syllabus constraint. And Julie, ahead when the northern division, southern division, western division, when you read, this question will now be you will very well much answered because over there everything is explained. Oh, what kind of rasa is which rasa, what happens with example. So this is law. And this is like a very clear cut instructions given. And if somebody is not following, he's not at that level. He's not marching in that path. That's that's a law. It's a guidebook, law book. Is that fine? Makes you understand too?
Yeah, Prabhuji, I understand. Just little confusion, Prabhu, because we find out in nectar of instruction also the same type of things are giving that
Nectar
you
of
can follow this,
instruction
follow
is a
this.
summary study of nectar of devotion.
Oh,
NOI is a summary study of nectar of devotion. What has been explained over here, Rupa Goswami knew fellows will not read maybe. So he gave NOI. चलो भैया वाचो वेगम से शुरू करो राधा कुंड तक लेके जाऊंगा मैं लेकिन पालन करो. Is that fine? Any more?
that's good. Thank you.
I want to show something. Okay, I hope nobody is there. So um, I'll take the benefit of the time and I'll show you something about the glories of Rupa Goswami. This is from Prabhu. I'm showing you. This I'm showing. This is what. This is Bhav Tarang. You might have seen, but I want to use some slides of Prabhu Radhashyam Prabhu's our main inspiration from him. And at least this first slides I'll show you. When he explains about the Rupa Goswami. Surely this Sri Chaitanya Manovishtam. Who is Sri Rupa Goswami? And he is Lalita Sakhi. She is also considered as the guru of Srimati Radharani. That's how Radharani treats her. And Lalita Sakhi has a group of manjaris who are called as who serve Radha and Krishna under Lalita Sakhi, and the head of the manjaris under Lalita Sakhi is Rupa Manjari, who is not different from our Rupa Goswami. So we it's a very authentic book to read about bhakti from such a personality. We are so fortunate to be in that line of Rupa Goswami. So what they please the sweet divine couple. So the entire Manjari group and the Rupa Goswami, what they do, they please the divine couple Radha and Krishna by carrying message, preparing tasty beverages, stringing fragrant flower garlands, and such activities. And in their pure spiritual form as maid servant, these 6 Goswamis plus Loknath Goswami and Kaviraj Goswami are the inner circle of the Manjaris under Lalita Shakhi. And this Gaur Ganesh Dipitaka says about how what are the different different Goswamis are Rup Goswami, Rup Manjari, Jiv Goswami, Vilas Manjari, Sanatan Tabang Manjari, Raghunath Das Goswami, Rati Manjari, Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, Raga Manjari, Gopal Bhatt Goswami, Rang Manjari, goes on and on. Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, Nayana Manjari. So you can, and then he also compares this that as Lord, at the time of the creation, gave the knowledge to Brahma. Same way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the Lord, gave the knowledge of rasa to much and much more to our Rupa Goswami, and he has presented us this particular Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and many such books. So, Nana Shastra Vichara Naikami Mano Sadharma Sansthavako Lokanam Hitakarino Tribhuvane Manyo Sharan Karo Radha Krishna Padar Vinda Bhajana Nandena Mattaliko Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako. So anyhow, this is that these all been and this is which I was referring to, that Prabhupada at the initiation of Prabhupada, he was instructed to read Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and then Prabhupada accepted sannyas today, 17th. Is it 17th September? It was 18th September, I don't know. But Tithi wise is today. September 1959, moved into the upstairs room at Radha Damodar temple under the shelter of Rupa Goswami and concentrated his energy on translating into English and purporting the Srimad Bhagavatam. So we are very thankful to Srila Prabhupada, who took all the troubles just for us, and Rupa Goswami, for although they all are Nitya Siddhas, including Srila Prabhupada, they come to this world just to deliver us, make us understand. थोड़ा ऊपर देखो, ऊपर बहुत कुछ है, भक्ति रस है, छोड़ दो नीचे मंडेन रस को, थोड़ा देखो ऊपर, जैसे बच्चों को ऐसे किया जाता है वैसे ही में किया जा रहा है, थोड़ा ऊपर देखो, बहुत कुछ है, क्या पड़े हुए हो नीचे. So we are very thankful to them that they are kindly awarded us an opportunity to look ahead. Because we have 6 minutes more, I'll just show you something. Now we are beginning with introduction, hoping that you don't have any questions. So I'm just showing you this is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and the introduction has 3 parts. Introduction has salutation to the Supreme Lord, salutation to the Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami does, and salutation to all Vaishnavas. So we'll just see these first 6 verses of this introduction. This you can recite after me at your end. Akhil Rasamrita Murti Prashrimara Ruchi Ruddha Taraka Pali Kalalita Shamo Lalito Radha Pren Vidur Jayati. Yeah, so it's been said, the meaning goes like this. Victory to the moon. Who is that moon? Krishna, who is enamored by the star named Srimati Radharani, who is the embodiment of all pleasure and vitality, and whose radiant luster dominates the galaxies of stars. Who is that galaxy of stars? Are Shyama Lalito, Shyama and Lalita. No, this is another Sakhi. And who owns the romantic graces of the dark night? No, sorry. The star like are Taraka and Pali. They are in the exalted stage. Also, there are stages of devotees. So they are lower. Taraka and Pali are lower levels of gopis. So they are compared to the stars. And who owns the romantic graces of the dark night? That is Lalita and Shama, and one who is a devotee of Srimati Radharani, Radha, Prem, Vidur Jayati. So this is a sloka with which Prabhupada also begins the introduction. This is a salutation to the Supreme Personality of Lordhead. It's namaskar to the Supreme Personality because he's Akhila Rasamrita Murti. So Prabhupada also explained his purport in his introduction about each of these words, which he very nicely explains this. So he explains over here about Rasa, Akhil Rasamrita Murti. So when he's saying about this Akhil Rasamrita Murti, he refers to many things over there. In this verse, let's keep the verse at the screen. I'm making it bigger for you. Only 3 minutes is there. What I'll do. Akhil Rasamrita Murti, the word Vidhu, Vidhur Jayati that you are seeing over here, actually has a lot of significance over here. And the Vidhur Jayati is the Vidhur Jayati. Vidhur means Vidhanoti or Vidadhati. Vidhur means destroys suffering. Also, Vidhur means who surpasses everything. Vidhu also means who bestows or it also means who bestows happiness. And Vidhu also means who is the cause of all causes. So the Lord is, the Vidhu is, as it means, he destroys all the sufferings, all the sins, and awards the highest bliss. So what is he doing is over here is that he's saying the Lord to be as Vidhu, because he does with us that, for us, he's a Vidhu. And he's Akhila Rasamrita Murti, in the sense, all the rasas are there in him. All the 12 rasas, he's an embodiment of that. One shloka from the 10th canto I'll show to you. That is that just completes this explanation of Akhil Rasamrita Murti. There's a very famous shloka, 10th canto, 13th, 43th chapter, when Krishna goes to Kamsa, to kill Kamsa at the arena, where just wait for this shloka to get covered, bro, and then it's a very beautiful shloka. And when we end, I know I am. So here now is been explained about this. There's a very famous, very good shloka. You might have surely heard from Radha Shambhu and the speakers. Malla, you recite together with me. Mallanam asane nrinam narabara strinam smaro murtiman. Gopanam swajano asatam shitibhujam sasta swapitro shishu. Mrityurbhojapate virada vidusham tattvam param yogina. Rishinam paradevata titi vidito rangam gata sagrajaha. What has been said? Mallanam, wrestler's fellow. How they saw the Lord? They saw the Lord as a lightning bolt in a Veera Rasa. And Nirnam, Nirnam Naravaraha, the men of Mathura, how they saw? They saw the Lord as best of the males. And as Vismaya Ras, Vismit थे वो. Strinam Smaro Murtiman. No, the women, how they saw him as a Cupid personified. Madhurya Ras. Gopi Nam Swajano. No, the gopis saw him as, the cowherd boy. So the cowherd boys saw him, the Gopanam, sorry, Gopanam. The cowherd boys saw him as his relative, the Sakyaras and Hasyaras. No, Asatam Shiti Bhujam Shastra, the impious rulers saw the Lord as chastiser in Raudra Ras. Swapitro Shishuhu, the parents who were there in that audience, they saw Krishna as his child, Vatsalya Ras and Karuna Ras. Mrityur Bhoja Pater, the king of Bhoja. Who is the king of Bhoja? Kamsa. Saw him as death, Bhayanak Ras. Tat Virad Avidushanam. The unintelligent people saw him as a universal form. That's why we don't worship universal form. Because as a devotee, Jai Bhaje Krishna, Sai Bara Chatur. So the unintelligent people see him as a universal form, Vibhastaras. No, Tattvam Param Yoginam, the yogis see him as absolute truth, Shantaras. Vishrinam Paradevata iti, the Vrishnis saw him as worshipable deity, Dasaras. Vidito Rangam Gata Sagrajaha. The various people in Kamsa's wrestling arena regarded Krishna in these different ways, and as he entered with his elder brother Balaram. This is a short definition of how he is embodiment of all rasas. So I end over here, and I could not even complete what I was supposed to complete. I'll get into more of a structured this from tomorrow. If you have any questions, I don't, because time has to come to end the meeting itself. If you have any questions, hold it. Tomorrow surely will answer it, but hold it. Don't forget the question. Write it. It's very important. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Jai Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai. Prabhuji, can you share that PDF that you were showing? Bhakti Rasamrita
I'll share to you.
verse.
I'll share.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Yeah. that is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. I have only fear. It has all divisions, Prabhu. So
Yeah.
my request is that even I have not read all divisions. Don't get into it right now, all divisions.
Yeah.
Just for as a curiosity. Curiosity sometimes can kill the cat.
Yeah.
So be careful about it. I'll share. Actually, you can find it on Radhasham Pro's website, Bhavatarang. That is also there. Proji has, which believe that we will not do curiosity kills the cat wala. He has put it.
Okay.
So you can take from there also. I'll share it also.
Okay.
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare
I know
Thank-
this will be more tastier with shlokas only. So
Yeah.
I'm also referring because I have to also taste it. To be very true with you. Hare Krishna. Shri
Hare
Prabhupada ki
Krishna. Bhakti Jai. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.